Hello everyone, in today's session we will learn how to install and configure Apache Tomcat 10 server on Ubuntu. We are currently using 22.04 LTS. We'll also discuss some important concepts related to installation such as setting up the environment, downloading and installing the necessary packages and configuring the Tomcat instance. So these are the table of contents which we are going to learn today. We will start with what is Apache Tomcat. So Apache Tomcat is an open source application server and a servlet container that provides a platform for running Java web application. It supports the Java servlet and Java server pages technology, allowing developers to deploy dynamic web content. Tomcat is widely used for hosting Java-based web applications and is known for its scalability and reliability. It is a critical component in the Java development ecosystem. So let us try understand about Java Server. So Java Servlet are Java-based programs that run on a web server to handle dynamic content generation and manage client-server communication. They receive and respond to HTTP requests, making them suitable for processing data, managing sessions, and interacting with databases to create dynamic web applications. So this is the architecture of the Java server. So a web browser is a medium for client to interact, which is sending out the HTTP request over to the web server and again processing the response back from the server. Next, we will learn about web server. So the primary job of a web server is to process the request and response that a user sends over time and maintain how a web server would be able to access the file that has been hosted over the server. The server we are talking about here is a software which manages access to a centralized resource or service in a network. There are precisely two types of web server, static web server and dynamic web server. So static web server, we can use Apache and Nginx, and in dynamic web server, we can use Tomcat. So what is a web container? Web container is another typical component in serverlet architecture, which is responsible for communicate with the serverlets. So two prime tasks of web container are managing the serverlet lifecycle and URL mapping. Web container sits at the server side managing and handle all the requests that are coming in either from the serverlets or from some JSP pages or potentially any other file system. So Java servlet follows the three methods: init method, service method, and destroy method. Next, we will learn about Java server page. So JSP is a technology that allows developers to embed Java code within HTML page. It simplifies the creation of dynamic web content by enabling the inclusion of Java logic for data processing and presentation. So this is the architecture of JSP. So it gives a high level of view of the working of JSP. So it is a three-tier architecture. It has client, web server, and database. The client is the web browser or application on the user side, and web server uses JSP engine, that is a container that processes JSP. For example, Apache Tomcat has built-in JSP engine. JSP engine that intercepts the request of JSP and provides the runtime environment for the understanding and processing JSP file. Next, we will see the difference between Apache Web Server and Apache Tomcat server. So, the purpose of the Apache Web Server is to serve static content, HTML, like HTML, images, etc., and handle HTTP requests. On the other hand, Apache Tomcat is used for executing Java-based web application, handling dynamic content, and serving Java Servlet and JSP. So the primary use cases of Apache Web Server is to host static website, proxying requests to other application server or web application. And in Apache Tomcat, running Java web application hosting servlets and JSP and handling dynamic content generation. The technology that are supported for Apache Web Server is HTTP and HTTPS request. On the other hand, on Apache Tomcat, it supports Java Servlet and Java Server pages and other Java-based technology. As we have learned that Apache Web Server serves static content, while Tomcat serves dynamic content generated by Java-based applications. Apache Web Server is efficient at serving large number of static requests and load balance, while Tomcat is suitable for handling Java-based dynamic content, including database interface. The port for Apache Web Server is 80 and 443 for HTTPS, while Tomcat listens on port 8080 by default, which can be configured for HTTP as well as for HTTPS. Apache Web Server requires web application to be deployed separately on an application server. On the other hand, Tomcat bundles the application server and handles deployment of Java application. So the example of Apache Web Server serving HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and other static files for website, while Tomcat is used for hosting Java-based web applications such as e-commerce site or web portal. Now we will start with the installation. First, we need to update the system. Simply copy paste this code and update your system. Let me clear this. So as you can see, system is updating. While updating, it is installing latest packages. Next, we will install OpenJDK. So as we know that the key requirement to install Tomcat is Java, as we have to host Java-based application. Thus, we need to set up open source Java development kit on Ubuntu using the terminal. So we will install the default JDK on our Ubuntu. Type OK here, clear. Now sudo apt install default JDK -5. So as you can see, all the packages of JDK are being downloaded. Type OK. Now clear. If we have to confirm that JDK is downloaded successfully, so we need to check the version of the Java JDK. Java version. So as we can see, the version of OpenJDK is 11.0.20.1. Next, we will download the Apache Tomcat. You can download it from the official website. So we will download Tomcat. We have downloaded the Tomcat from official website successfully. Now we will extract the tar file. But first we will create a directory under opt to extract the file. So to create, simply type sudo mktr -p opt tomcat. So to check this, simply type cd opt directory and list up. So as you can see, we have created Tomcat directory in opt. Now we will extract the downloaded Tomcat tar file into the created directory. So we have to enter the file in Tomcat. So cd Tomcat. So now as we have extracted, you can see all the files are extracted in the opt directory. Now we will clear this. Now we will create a dedicated user to ensure the security of the system while testing various web applications. Let us create a non-root user that has access to the created opt Tomcat folder. So we will add the group Tomcat. Now we will check that if it has added the group on. So to check, so we can check the user is added or not. So simply type cat etc password grep Tomcat. So it will show the user is added successfully. Now we will assign Tomcat user permission. So copy this, enter. Next, copy the second command, which will give the permission to opt and Tomcat. Now we will create a system service file. So let us understand what is system. So system is a service and system manager for Linux operating system that helps manage the services and processes running on the system. It will provide the unit file describe how to start and stop the Tomcat server and to set an environment variables and specify dependencies. So we have to in system and service file we have to enter the dependencies. So this unit file is used to control the Tomcat service with system. It sets up the necessary environment variable, specifies how to start and stop the service, and ensures that it's automatically restarted in the case of failure. It also defines the order of service startup and stop. Ensure the network services are started before the top. Now we will edit the configuration of system and service by simply typing sudo nano and it is saved in the etc directory as all the configuration we need to change in the etc directory. Now copy this paste in the editor, exit by entering Ctrl plus X, Shift plus Y and enter. Next, we will enable and start the Tomcat service. Finally, we have plugged it in all the necessary things to start the Tomcat service in the background. So let's enable it and run it. To do so, we need to reload the demo. Now next, we will start the Tomcat service. Next, we will enable the Tomcat service. As we can see, it creates the symbol. Now we will check the status of the Tomcat. Does it run actively or not? So as we can see, it is running active. Clear this. Now we will add the users in Tomcat. As we will face 403 error on Tomcat if we do not enter the user. So we will add the user details in the Tomcat user.xml. We will open the editor. In the last, before the Tomcat user end tag, we need to add the user name. So copy paste this. So as you can see, the username is Rishi Infotech and password for it is Rishi123. You can change it as your choice. So we need to save this configuration by simply entering Ctrl plus X, Shift plus Y, enter. Now we will enable the Tomcat and Host Manager remote access. We need to enable it by editing individual context.xml file available for Tomcat Manager and Host Manager. So we need to edit the context.xml configuration. Sudo nano in opt web apps manager meta in context.xml. This is the location of the context.xml. Now we need to comment the value section. After commenting, save this configuration. Ctrl plus X, Shift plus Y, enter. Now, now we will do it for the host manager remote access. First, we have done it for Tomcat manager remote access. So copy this, paste here, comment out the value tag, and the comment tag. Now save this configuration, shift Ctrl plus X, Shift plus Y, and enter. Now we will open the port 8080 in Ubuntu. So the service to access the web interface via browser is available on port 8080. And to access the same remotely using any other system, we have to allow it outgoing connection in the file. So we need to allow the connection to run on the 8080 port. So you need to simply type sudo vfw means firewall and allow it. You can also check the status sudo vfw status. As it is inactive, you can activate it by typing sudo ufw and type y. Now we'll check the status if the port 8080 is safe or not. So as you can see, port 8080 is safe and it is allowed anyway. So if you want to access the Tomcat web interface, you need to change the settings of the instance. In the security and inbound rules, you need to add a rule which will consider type info as custom TCP and port range as default port for Tomcat is 8080. As you can see this image, and select custom anywhere IP4. Now we will check if the Tomcat service is running or not. So to check this, open your browser, enter your IP address. So my IP address is 54.176.153.140. 54.176.153 colon 8080. So as you can see, Apache Tomcat version 10.1.15 default page has been loaded. So now we will check the server status. Here you need to type the username and the password, which we have saved to Rushi Protect and the password Rushi123. So as you can see, we will display the server status. Now we will check for the manager app. These are the applications which are by default present on Tomcat. So we have successfully installed and configured Tomcat 10 on Ubuntu 22.04 LTS that requires updating the system, installing Java, and we have configured the Tomcat and finally started the server for web application deploy. This process enables you to host Java web application efficiently on your Ubuntu server. Thank you.